My dad said this to me once. Do you want it? We were in Asda, like this supermarket, and I picked out like this drawing magazine, like this, art magazine where you could color it in or whatever, and some crayons. And I asked my dad if we could buy it and I could have it. And I still remember this memory of him. There was like a look of pain in his face, in his eyes. And he said, "Do you want it?" And I went like, yeah. I just remembered this memory today because we probably were struggling financially, in some ways, like, working class family. And that phrase that my dad said, "Do you want it?" And the look on his face, just today it made me realize like the meaning behind that was, okay, I'll get it for you if you really, really want it, but it's gonna cost me another hour of my life to make the money for this. Most fathers around the world who are working hard to provide, they don't actually have like amazing jobs that they love, but they do it for the purpose of their families. And when your little boy or your wife wants something, it can be quite normal to calculate the hourly cost of your life energy to buy that. Like, I don't know if you've ever done that before, but if you know how much money you can make in an hour, then when you see something that costs the same amount, that's like an hour of your life. Like, let's say if you work minimum wage in like the UK, it's like £8 an hour. If you make £8 an hour and then you are randomly going through the store and there's something that you might want to get, like some energy drink and some bar of chocolate or some shit, and it's going to be about £8, you should look at that and be like, it's not £8, it's an hour of your life. It's an hour that you will be in work for. Would you go to work for an hour to buy those things? To buy your son like some coloring book? Yeah, sure, like, that's wholesome as fuck. But when you already don't like your life and you already don't like your job, it can be pretty fucking tough to like have those sweet moments with a genuine smile on your face. And it pains me, to record this video and to talk about this, because I think there's so many fathers in the world right now. I think there's so many just people in general in the world who they hate their jobs. They really don't like their jobs. They don't like the way that they make money. But they do it for their family. They do it because they've got bills. But then all their life energy is just being sucked from them. And so when I thought of this, I'm going to sound kind of arrogant, but when I thought of this morning, I just thought to myself, like, man, thank God that I'm really fucking good at making money. I have the best business you could possibly have these days, which is, I make content and I sell digital products. So my work hours are like 10 hours a week. This is my work task. Think about it. I wake up, I put a bathrobe on, I press record, I record some of this content. This video is going to make me like, I don't know, $500, $750, just this one video. And then I've got my whole catalog of videos passively getting me sales. Then I've got my main channel getting me sales. Then I've got my Instagram getting me sales. Every day I wake up, I get about 50 new sales in my low ticket program, which is $37 a month. So what's that? That's about 1.5K a day. Not per month, a day. And it's like passive as well. I don't have to do any more work once it's sold. So whilst I respect and, I appreciate the sacrifice that like our fathers made for us, I don't just want to leave it there with this wholesome message of like, yeah, money's really hard, guys, but, just provide for your family. Okay, sweet. If you're watching this and you're a young man and the idea of like, you want to be like a strong father, you want to provide for your family, you want to be able to, retire your woman so she doesn't have to work full time, and get your children like the best tutors on the planet or whatever, and get your children like tutors so they don't have to go to a public school, you can homeschool them, you can get all these health devices and healthy food and whatever. You want to, have that life where you've got a fuck ton of money to spend so you can have an amazing quality of life and health and skills and whatever. Then just achieving that by working a job that you dislike is already a flex because you're helping your family. But achieving that by like working a business that you love, that contributes to others, that makes a fuck ton of money, that's the real ambition. And I genuinely believe what I'm about to tell you right now. I think making money is actually pretty fucking easy these days. It's like when you think about how making money used to be, 20 years ago, 50 years ago, basically you just had to go work the best job you could find. And that would have been brutal. That's what our father's experiences, right? And that's fucking tough. So maybe you had to go to university, be a good boy, hopefully get into the right field, which is doing really well right now, be a doctor, work 60 hours a week, 70 hours a week, study for 8 years and stuff. And now you're on 60K a year or something. These days, it's like, bro, it's like blow up on social media. Every day there's a fucking 13-year-old who's blowing up on social media and makes 60K a month, not a year. Like, do you realize the opportunity that we have? And it's so easy for people to watch this video and, to hear this idea of like, yeah, social media businesses, it's, money, whatever. And to say, no, you all just got lucky and it's not that easy. It's not possible for me. It would be easy for you. It would be like so like normal for you to look at this and be like, yeah, but Hamza just got lucky and, it's not going to work for me. But I could have thought that as well. What if I had that belief 5 years ago? Then I would have never taken this seriously. If you have the belief that all this like new age internet money thing is all like a scam or a lie, then of course, bro, it's not going to fucking happen to you. Of course it's not. But if you have the belief that some of these people that you see online must be telling the truth, because I 100% am telling the truth with like how much money I make, how many hours I work a week. Some of these people are telling the truth. And if you can just believe that and you can think to yourself, you know what? If Hamza can do it, so can I. If I see, like you see these channels that are blowing up, these Instagram influencers that are blowing up, anyone you see blow up is minimum making 5 to 10K a month from their content, minimum, right? If they get a few 100,000 followers. But if they're good at monetizing, like if they've got a pretty decent product, we're talking 50, 100K a month. I'm on about 100K a month right now. So like it ranges, but roughly like 1.5 million a year is what I've been at for the last like 2 or 3 years straight now. That's a fuck ton of money to only be needing to work 10 hours a week. And it's literally a passion of mine to like press record, rant on these videos, tell you like, yeah, stop being a fat motherfucker, stop being a pussy, post it, my editors, clip it up a little bit, whatever, we post it onto Instagram. And then the rest of my day, I just go to the gym, I read books, I talk to people, I train and whatever. Making money is like so much easier. And if you have these big goals in your mind, to provide for your family, and that moment where, your child asks you for something and you want to make sure you can afford it without like the pain in your heart of thinking like, fuck, now I've got to go work an extra shift at this job that I hate. It's your duty. It is absolutely your duty to have a career or a business that not only provides for your family, but also is actually like genuinely like purposeful for you and something that you're actually passionate about. Because once you have that, you're winning in life. I think most people's ambitions are so low where like for the average guy, what they're thinking of is like, okay, I want to make just enough money so that I can provide for my current family, like my parents and stuff, and then eventually I can provide for my future family and my children or whatever. But my level of ambition's always been bigger than most guys. I want to do that, but I also want to enjoy my work at the same time. I also want it to feel like it's genuinely like a real passion of mine. I'm contributing to people that I care about. And also I want to make a fuck ton of money, not in the future, but in my 20s. And I know that sounds crazy. Like, here's the action step, bro. Get rich in your 20s, become a millionaire in your 20s. But there's really only one way that you could do that. Like, can you think of other ways? Think about it. How could you get rich in your 20s? Let's say you're like 21 years old right now. There's a few ways you could think of. Okay, maybe you become like a really famous singer or fighter or, like athlete or something. But that's like, you'd kind of know if that was your path already. So it's probably not that if you're watching this. There's no career that could get you rich in your 20s, like millionaire in your 20s. Maybe like, no, actually, you know what? There's not. You know how straight away you might be thinking like, yes, there is like finance or being a neurosurgeon and making 200K a year or something. No, but for those things, you've got to study and do the whole internship and whatever. You might be able to make $1 million in your 30s, but not in your 20s. In your 20s, there's only one way to become a millionaire, and it's through business. And the business that I will constantly push down your fucking throat until you accept it is the exact one that I'm doing. Everyone else is telling you like, oh, dropshipping and agency and e-commerce, and they're all like bloated, fucking high stress businesses with 5 to 10 times the work hours that I do, with like lower profit margins. So when those motherfuckers tell you they make 100K like me, what they're not telling you is they only profit like 45K a month, whereas I profit a fucking 100K a month. Think about it. What's my expenses? My fucking editor. That's it. Like your expenses are very fucking small in this business model. So when I tell you 100K a month, Like, I keep most of that fucking 100K, it just gets stacked into my fucking net worth. Unlike everyone else who tells you, yeah, I make 100K a month, but they spend like 50K a month on their team and on ads and everything else. Imagine your work task, like you wake up, you record some content, you post on your Instagram stories a few times, you teach people about some niche of yours that you care about, and that makes a fuck ton of money. And then look, you could argue, yeah, but like, it's not guaranteed. Yeah, but what way to make money is guaranteed, motherfucker? Oh, but you've got to get lucky. Okay, but what way to get rich like doesn't require a bit of luck? Of course, it's cause and effect. When people say luck, they're usually like lazy little liberal little fucking retard pussies, right? Luck is just what the peasants refer to. The rich people refer to it as just cause and effect. Cause and effect, you do the action, you get the result, and every 0.1% of times you do the action, there's a chance of getting 100 times the result. Rich people and intelligent people look at the game like maths. Poor people look at it with like luck and this whole like vague bullshit that they feel like they've got no control over. But every disagreement you could say to this kind of business model, I could break it easily and tell you, bro, this is the fucking way. And the goal, like the reward is so high because it's not just about money. It's about making the money whilst you genuinely are contributing to other people. This isn't trading or dropshipping, some degenerate business model where you're just some fucking middleman trying to get a margin here or there and you're not actually helping anyone. It's like you're making educational content that's changing lives. Like the amount of guys who message me every day saying like, oh, you've changed my life. I'm in the gym because of you. I'm meditating because of you. I've been able to move out of my home. I'm productive. I'm more disciplined. I'm masculine. I've become a strong man. The fact that I've made like probably about just under probably about $3 million in the last like 5 years total, but most of it I've made in like the last 2 years, blows my mind because I would do this shit for free. I have this conversation with my friend like all the time when we're talking about working hard and we're talking about our businesses. I always try and tell everyone, it's like, try and think of the business you'd do for free because that's the one you'd work hardest on. And also that's the one you'll be best at. Everyone chases the money like a little Jew and it's so retarded to chase money in business because when you're chasing money, you'll be like, okay, well I can make money in this business model. And I can make money in this business model. And I can make money in this business model. It's like, yeah, you can make money in any fucking business or career. And your idea that like one is easier than the other isn't just fucking not true. You haven't done a real market analysis. You don't fucking know business, right? So then the real question should be, well, which vehicle is right for you, which you'd actually be passionate about and you'd be great at? And if it's going to be talking on camera or if it's going to be writing, text for Twitter or something, then this is a 10 out of 10 business model. Imagine if our fathers had a business like this when we were growing up. They only needed to work 10 hours a day. They were utterly fulfilled because they weren't working for some random company, some bullshit. They just had their own audience, their own online community that they were serving and helping. Imagine how fulfilled they would have been. And imagine that look of like pain that I can imagine on my dad's face when he asked me that question, do you want it? He's like in pain because he's like, oh, if you want it, I'll buy it for you, but I'll need to work an extra hour to be able to afford this. Imagine if there was no pain in that face. Imagine if there was just pure joy of like, oh, my son wants to be a little artist or something because he was making money in a stronger vehicle. Now, of course, this isn't, being disrespectful. It's like, our fathers worked very hard to get us to a certain point, but we need to become more ambitious. It's not just enough to provide for your family. You need to do it in a way where working is genuinely fun for you. That's the ultimate level that I want you to get to. That's the level that I've brought myself to. And I can't explain, like my life feels like a fairy tale compared to like the average world. Like I can't believe this is my work task. It doesn't even feel like real work. And then I make so much money. I've got infinite fucking money. I just travel and I go to the gym and I read books and I do whatever the fuck I want. And like I work like literally about like an hour a day, even a little bit less. These days it's about 45 minutes. I record 2 videos a day and then that's about it. Like that's it. And that makes me like a fucking million and a half profit a year. Like that's fucking insane. You should be fucking typing like W in the chat for that, right? And it's like, bro, I genuinely don't think that I had some like special advantage or anything like that. I really don't think so. I think this is possible for you as well. it's not unrealistic to think 2 years from now, 3 years from now, you'd have 250,000 followers on any of these social media platforms. Some people get that in their first like 1 or 2 months, by the way, but I'm giving you 2 to 3 years. But when you've got that, when you've got 100,000 followers, bro, you're making 5, 10, 15, 20K a month from that minimum. Like that's if you're shit at monetizing, right? If you've got 100,000 subscribers, maybe 200,000 followers on Instagram or Twitter or something, you're making like 5 to 10K a month from that if you've done it in the right way. It's not some bullshit faceless channel or something, but you know, it's you, it's your personal brand, it's educational. That's fucking beautiful, isn't it? But then you need to know that step by step, how do you actually build this business in a way that it makes money, and how do you actually grow and get the followers and what do you sell and everything. And then that would take me hours to explain, and that's why I made my program. Top link in the description. So if you want to be an educational content creator like me and my 600 students in there, you can join. Goodbye. Mwah.